Nine strange scientifically proven ways to stay healthy. It's nice to live in the 21st century, with the luxury of medicine and science offering us more and more new ways to stay healthy. Even though they might sometimes sound a little strange, they have already proven their efficiency. In this video, Brightside will tell you about 9 of the most unusual methods to support your health, many of which most people can never even imagine. We totally recommend you to stay with us until the end of the video because there's a bonus for you. It's something that every woman must be aware of. 9. A short nap after a cup of coffee does miracles. Scientists from the Sleep Research Laboratory in the UK have found that a short nap after a cup of coffee benefits the body tremendously. You know, they say that it's hard to fall asleep after drinking coffee since the caffeine sends your heart racing, preventing you from getting some good rest. Well, that might not be true at all. Participants in the coffee nap experiment took a test in a car simulator. Surprisingly, the coffee nappers made fewer mistakes than those who had simply slept, drunk coffee, or taken a placebo drink without any caffeine. Not to mention, they actually felt well rested. To achieve such a result, you need to drink coffee pretty fast. After that, go to sleep immediately, so you pretty much have to drink coffee in bed. Don't worry if you're unable to fall asleep instantly. Even simply relaxing or being in a semi-sleep state will do the trick. After 15 to 20 minutes, you should get up before you slip into the stage of deep sleep. It might be hard to make yourself get up, but you absolutely have to, or you won't experience the effect. Keep in mind that it's unhealthy to do this too often. You should do it only when you really need it. Like when you feel sleepy while driving, but we recommend avoiding nighttime driving entirely if you can. 8. A low-calorie diet provokes a bigger appetite. Many people are so focused on counting calories that they rarely consider the fact that this does more harm than good. They end up yo-yo dieting, which is even more detrimental to their health. Think about it. If you limit yourself to low-calorie snacks instead of a full-fledged nutritious meal, you only dull the feeling of hunger for a short time. But very soon, you'll be overcome with a ravenous appetite that may cause you to give up your diet and reach for that delicious, grease-dripping burger you've been dreaming of for weeks. What happens next? You feel defeated and soon go back on your restrictive diet, of course. And the vicious cycle continues. What you should do is eat good, nourishing meals regularly and avoid unhealthy junk food. A balanced diet and regular workouts, that's what you need to stay in shape. 7. Use regular soap rather than antibacterial ones. As it turns out, the Food and Drug Administration has run a number of tests and come to the conclusion that there is absolutely no evidence showing that antibacterial soap is any more effective than regular soap. And even more than that, the results have shown that triclosan, which is an ingredient commonly used in the manufacturing of most kinds of toothpaste, deodorant, and liquid antibacterial soap, is extremely harmful to our body. If you come in contact with it too often, it can actually break down your body's natural bacterial barrier. In other words, it doesn't choose its targets carefully. It just launches an indiscriminate nuclear attack on all bacteria, both good and bad ones. Worst yet, it also has a negative effect on the development of embryos. So don't overcomplicate things. Just stick to regular soap. Finally, whether you've opted for regular soap or are still sticking with antibacterial, don't overdo it and wash your hands too much. Overwashing actually dries out your skin. 6. Work in a standing position every time you get a chance. British scientists have conducted research on bus drivers and ticket collectors and found that spending the entire workday in the driver's seat is much more harmful to the body than spending it walking around on the bus. Hypodynamia, the fancy scientific name for sitting too much, has a very negative effect on the cardiovascular system. You know, we evolved at a time when there were no computers or pizza delivery. Our ancestors had to move around a lot to find food and survive. We don't need to do that anymore, but our bodies still want to move, not to spend hours sitting in one place. If your body isn't getting enough movement, your blood transports nutrients and oxygen at half the normal speed. A sitting job is especially dangerous for men's health because blood doesn't circulate well enough. A man can end up developing erectile dysfunction. So during the workday, you should use any opportunity you get to stretch your muscles. Try going for a walk during your lunch break or doing a little physical exercise. It can improve your health dramatically. A recent trend on the rise is to work from a standing desk. It's exactly what it sounds like, a desk that you stand at. Maybe it's time you ordered one? 5. Eat apple peels. Eating more greens, fruits, and vegetables can't harm anyone. But let's take a closer look at apples specifically. Apple peels contain quercetin, a substance that has antispasmodic, anti-inflammatory, and many other hard-to-pronounce useful properties. No wonder they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Plus, apple peelings protect brain cells from damage, which means that they can help hinder learning problems. So, if you have an exam tomorrow, go get some apples. 4. Handwritten notes improve mental abilities. If you're not in school anymore, how often do you use a pen or a pencil to write something down? And you've probably noticed how hard it is to do given that we now use our cell phones, tablets, and laptops instead of paper. Life without spell check would be miserable. Like this video if you agree. While using technology is faster and definitely more convenient, it's not very good for our health when it comes to writing. Research conducted by Indiana State University has proven that taking handwritten notes develops mental abilities like psychomotor coordination, attention, memory, and many others. As you're writing, the parts of your brain responsible for reading switch on as well. This doesn't happen while taking notes on a laptop. 3. Do not brush your teeth within an hour of eating. Many dentists are convinced that brushing your teeth right after eating is comparable to trying to remove dental plaque with sandpaper. Things like citrus and acidic fruits, tomatoes, sports drinks, and sodas make the enamel of our teeth more sensitive to outside influences. This doesn't mean you have to give up these foods and drinks completely, but what you definitely shouldn't do is help those acids penetrate into the deep layers of your teeth. Eventually, this leads to cavities. The solution is to rinse your mouth out with lukewarm water after meals. This will help you feel fresh after eating. 2. Get rid of the alarm clock. Yeah, and lose my job? Well, we don't mean that tomorrow morning you should just wake up without an alarm clock at any random time. You should gradually get used to a certain schedule. For example, start going to bed at the same time every evening, and you will soon notice that you wake up pretty much at the same time every morning. Designate someone that you can depend on to keep you in line when you try to stay up late to watch just one more episode of your favorite show. Why is it so important to wake up naturally? Well, again, technology has dramatically changed our day and night cycles, aka our circadian rhythm. Before we had artificial light, people had nothing to do after the sun went down, so they went to sleep and woke up at sunrise. To our dismay, it's not that simple, and that's why it's so hard to get up every morning. Out of the 5 sleeping stages we go through each time we snooze, the most suitable for waking up are the 1st, 2nd, and 5th. If you wake up during one of these stages, you'll feel well rested. However, sudden noises that wake you up unnaturally can induce a lot of stress on your body by disturbing your sleep. And you probably agree that stress is not the best thing to start your morning with, right? As the day continues, you'll feel increasingly irritable, and your vision, memory, and response time will worsen. Over time, it can provoke cardiovascular diseases, strokes, neurological disorders, and intellectual decline. So take your sleep and how you wake up very seriously. 1. Don't take other people's opinions to heart. People who are thick-skinned and indifferent to the opinions of others typically live longer. On the other hand, we all need emotional support and advice from others from time to time. That's why you should surround yourself with people who can inspire you and support you on your life journey. Don't let party poopers bring you down. And finally, the bonus that we promised. Research done at the University of Toronto has proven that having breast implants can negatively affect a woman's health. They can cause breast pain, decreased sensitivity, and even atrophy of breast tissue. What's more, what they see in front of the mirror after the surgery is all too often not what these women, and probably their spouses too, had in mind. Have you ever heard of botched surgeries? And did you know that the actual implants can sometimes be seen through the skin? How sexy is that? Is it really worth it? Do you know any other health tips that we forgot to mention? Share them in the comment section below. Like this video and send it to your friends so that they'll know how to be healthy. And hit the subscribe button